Okay. I'm gonna assume this works. I really have no way of knowing. But okay. Here's the plan. Here's my scheme. I'm thinking way too much about Yakuza right now. I'm talking way too much about Yakuza right now. So, my plan is to just kind of talk and get it all out of my system, hopefully, for maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, probably 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, who knows. But I could just type this all out. I don't really want to, because my thumbs would get all tired, and I don't want to deal with all that jazz. So, this would be way nicer and easier. That's what I'll do. Okay. I hope this doesn't just turn into me, like, complaining and being all like, oh, I miss back when, a year ago when it was good. I really hope it doesn't just become that, but I don't know, I'm kind of feeling a little bitchy right now. So, you never know what could happen a day like today. Okay, where should I start? Alright, okay. I think I'll try to do the smart thing, and I'll try to start being positive. So, things I'm excited for about Yakuza 8. Well, actually, shit, no. I'm talking about Gaiden first. Okay. So, things I liked about Gaiden. I liked that Kiryu was back. I like Kiryu a lot. He's cool as fuck. I like him so much. I like that you get, in that first little bit, you get a real sense of how fucking constrained he is and how disgusted his situation makes him. I love how much he's just fucking sad, and just, even when it's not overtly like, hey, he's really upset about Haruka, you can just fucking smell it in the air. Like, he's just beating himself up and just feeling like regret at this really fucked up, really theoretically selfless choice he made, but it's just eating him up. I love that shit so much. It's so good. There's a scene kind of early on, right after he meets Akame, the homeless lady, not the homeless lady, but the homeless worker lady, the lady who, like, contracts out homeless people, basically, which is kind of a weird thing, but whatever. Where, like, he just goes about his regular Kiryu business, just beating up thugs, and it's this whole, like, big old budget cutscene about it, where he's just like, hey, I'm gonna give one of my big classic, here's your lesson monologues, and it goes on for like 5 minutes, and for whatever reason it just made me extremely emotional, because it's like, despite everything that's changed about his life recently, and despite everything that's different now, and despite him being surrounded by all this crap that he hates, he's still the same guy, and he still has the same values, and he's still that same core of a person underneath all this bullshit that's holding him back. I love that. It's very cool, and it's very Yakuza. That idea that, like, that core of who you are never changes. It's very neat. I like it very much. It made me very happy, and it almost made me cry a little bit, which is very silly. Another thing I really liked, just kind of going off that, is just like that those first few hours of Gaiden, you really get a sense of, like, Kiryu is trying so hard to keep those values he's been holding to his chest and holding as part of himself for years, like his entire life. He's trying to keep those, like, bits he holds so dear to himself, like, he's trying to keep them by his side, and he can't really in this kind of system he's put himself in. Which, side note, I know I said I was going to be positive, but I don't like the Daidoji thing. That wasn't a thing in 6. It was just, oh, do this favor for me, and I'll just, I won't be around. I'm not gonna be around. Don't worry about it. Kiryu's gone. That man's dead. But in this, it's like, it kind of taints that awesome, amazing ending of 6, where it's like he's just walking off into a new chapter in his life. It's now like he's walking off into essentially slavery, which is like, oh, that's not as good. That's not great. But anyways, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about it. So, where was I? Oh, yeah. I love your first meeting with Shishido. As much as I don't like where that ends up, I love his first, I guess, second meeting technically, because he shows up at the docks. But your first real meeting with him, when you just have that awesome fucking fight, and Kiryu goes into his awesome classic stance. It's just like, man, they know how to make fan service that targets me directly and just fucking stabs me in the throat in a good way. That's good shit. I love that. It's a really good QTE little bit where it's like you slam your fucking head on his mask and it just cracks off. God, it's so good. That's great. I like Hanawa generally. I like Hanawa. I think he's going to come back in 8, I assume. Like, given his whole thing of technically being Morinaga from 5, who is, I guess, spoilers, Tyler, who is fucking Aizawa's sworn brother until he's not. Until he fake dies for the second time in that game, I guess. Because he fake dies first, and then he for real dies off screen. But I guess that was also a fake death because he's here now. And they also changed his build and his weight and his age and his height and his hair. I don't know how that works, but, And he has glasses now, which I don't get. I don't... Can you surgically implant bad eyesight? Whatever. I don't care. I mean, I do because I'm talking about it, but it doesn't matter. Anyways, I like Hanawa. I don't really care. Well, I do care until a point. I like Hanawa. I like him getting kidnapped like 3 times. Or maybe once. I don't know. I think it was 3 times. Gets kidnapped by that guy with the new moveset, where he's like got the fucking barbecue poker and a sword. It's pretty cool. That fight took me forever. Yeah, I think the moment... Shit, I'm probably forgetting a bunch of stuff. But I think the moment where Kiryu goes and they have Hanawa captive, or they have Hanawa captive, I'm pretty sure. And they're like, hey Kiryu, you're not, you're acting out a little much. So, either you kill Hanawa right now, shoot him in the head, or we kill you. And that is such a fucking killer, no pun intended moment. It's so good because this whole opening, well, not even opening, this whole first half of the game is like Kiryu kind of trying to keep these ideals he's had his whole life and trying to keep them even in this a system that goes against everything he is and everything he thinks about himself. He's not a work in the shadows behind the scenes kind of guy, and that's all he's been doing. And I love that they're finally making him be they're pushing him to be no, Kiryu, you have to do this. You don't have a choice, you'll die. And he's like, fuck, he has no way out. And it's it could be such a great, powerful, gross, dark moment. I've got a fucking thesaurus beside me, by the way, for him, where it's it would be so sad and so perfect going into his, God, I hope his last outing for real this time, where it's that's weighing on him is he's broken this trust he had in himself and this bond that he had with Nishiki, actually. Because in Yakuza 0, he's all don't kill people, I'll be sad about it. And then, we'll get those places, but whatever. Yeah, that would have been cool. But then that fucking guy, the barbecue poker man. I forget what his name is. I don't like him. He just comes in the door with a briefcase of money. He's like, actually, it was all just a joke. It was just a little prank. Come with me. There are no stakes anymore. Don't worry about it. And then from that point on, to me at least, the game kind of becomes not about Kiryu at all. And it just kind of becomes... Remember Yakuza 7? Yes, I remember Yakuza 7. I played it like 3 years ago or something. God damn it, man. I thought this was going to be about Kiryu. So, that's basically like where my problem with Gaiden starts, and it only gets worse from there. Is I hoped for, I don't think this was unreasonable, I hoped for a game that was like about Kiryu and was just a very close, very, I don't know, confined study of Kiryu. And it wasn't. Or it kind of was for the first little bit, and then he just kind of gets all stakes and really kind of agency taken out of it, because he's just, again, working as a puppet for someone else, just doing a job. Which could be interesting, but they don't do anything with that. So, yeah. Yeah. Now, Shishido. Okay, like I said, I love his first couple times he shows up, and you have a cool fight with him, right? I love the conversation you have with him after that first go around in the... Shit, what's it called? New Purgatory or something? Neo Purgatory? I don't know if that's what I called it or if that was the game called it. I don't remember. But whatever it's called, the big old hedonist fight club thing. Yeah, you have a big conversation with him in that about, like, just fucking, here's what my life has been like up till this point, Kiryu. My life is fucked up. And this was the part where I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna love this game, because it feels like such a... And not that I don't like this part of 7, it feels like such a, like, kind of rebuttal to, like, the extremely optimistic ending of 7, where it's like, hey, you can always work your way back from the ground up. Always. There's no such thing as an all-out loss. You know? But then you have Shishido over here who's like, this is all I have. This life is it. Like, I started out in the gutter like fucking Nishitani, that jackass over there, who I also don't like as a character. His boss fight's cool, but whatever. That jackass over there made me fucking play Russian roulette for my life. Like, he just treated me like a toy, like a dog. Like, it's fucked up. I love that conversation. It's great. And that was the moment I was like, oh my god, if this game goes where it could go, it could be awesome. It could be like, this whole game could be... Because at this point I didn't know that they had, like, forgotten to write Kiryu as a character at all. At this point I was like, okay, we're taking a little break. We're taking a little break, a little sideshow. And we're gonna... This whole game could be an amazing, like... What's the word? Revision? I don't want to say rebuttal again, but, like, you know, a re-examination, I guess, of, like, everything Kiryu and this series has been about up till this point, of, like, just pure, just balls out, bold optimism, and just, like, you can start again, you can do it. Like, that whole idea where it's like, sometimes you can't. Sometimes it's over. Sometimes you can't come back. But yeah, there's a little short, tiny little cutscene right before that conversation, which, in hindsight, is really bad, because Shishido, he gets up to go after Kiryu wins his fight. He gets up from behind Nishitani. He's sitting there in his, like, little makeshift throne room thing. And Nishitani's like... He says something to Nishitani, like, something whatever. And Nishitani's like, ha! You've learned some good manners for someone who grew up in shit. And it's like, oh my god, this guy's a fucking asshole. And you get this really great shot from Shishido's point of view. And it's just him just kind of staring at the back of Nishitani's head. And he's just like... you get from that shot, you get so much like anger, like unspoken anger and jealousy, and just like, fuck, I hate this man so goddamn much, but this is my life. He is like really, he's it for me. Like, this is all I am. It's so good. That shot is amazing, right? And it's like 2 seconds long, and it's not even in a fucking budget cutscene, I don't think. It's just like one of those like cheapy, I guess not cheap, but you know, one of those like in-engine cutscenes, and it's like so good. Then they fuck it up later, with the whole thing of Shishido doesn't care that Nishitani was evil to him. Like, he acts like it when he fake kills him with a fake knife that has fake jelly in it or something. Which also, I find that scene very funny. It's a good scene, where Kiryu, like, I like the way it's shot. I don't know if we've ever seen them in a burning building before. Like, I don't know why that's what crossed my mind, but it did. Kiryu's like fucking running out, and it's like from a mile away you can tell, like, oh yeah, buddy, I'll be right out. Let me just, I'll just be over here. You go open the door, leave me alone for like 20 seconds so I can totally not kill this guy. And I guess he totally doesn't kill him, because he doesn't kill him. But yeah. That was a good scene, and the whole thing afterwards, like, hey, we're sorry we kind of made you an accomplice to that, but that motherfucker had to die. You don't understand. And that was really interesting, and there's so much, like, interpersonal conflict that can come from that, which has been so fucking core to every single one of these games. Like, especially, like, between Kiryu and Shishido for that, like, because here's the whole meme, is like, oh, he doesn't kill anybody, right? He doesn't, like, Kiryu doesn't, like, fight anybody without a good reason, or a reason, I guess. Like, he doesn't start fights, really, unless, like, you're like, I banged your daughter, and he's like, what the fuck? And he punches you through a glass door. I fucking love Yakuza 6 so much. Anyway, Kiryu doesn't start fights, and he fucking sure as hell doesn't kill anybody. At least, not unless he's fucking pushed to it. And not unless he's like, you're endangering people that I love. Get the fuck out my trap house. Yeah. Kiryu doesn't kill people. That's not like a Batman kind of thing where it's like a code of honor. It's just like, he just wouldn't. It's not in his, it's not part of his bag of tricks. Not his style. So like that, just that one thing that Shishido does, like, you've built up like a pretty tight relationship between them this whole game. Like, you had that segment where you can just kind of hang out while you're partying around town, which that's just fine segments, whatever. I liked it. I lost golf, which made me upset, but whatever. I don't care that much. I'm not that bitter about it. You had this like perfect setup for like a really good, not even like hero versus villain boss fight. And this is the kind of boss fight that the series, I think, does best, where it's like, there isn't even hate between these two people. It's just two people on two sides of an argument who just, this is how Kiryu is. He can only really communicate well through punching. Like, there are just those kinds of people who, like, click with him on that level, and he can only really argue with you by fighting. It's goofy, and I love it so much. But anyways, there's like the perfect setup for that kind of like relationship between them, and that kind of like standoff at the end. Because I think at that point I knew Shishido was the final boss. I'd been like spoiled on that, so I'm like, okay, this is it. This is the perfect way to set this up. Kiryu, just like have him just like, a couple hours from now, just take him aside and be like, hey man, this isn't cool. Like, have him maybe, do something else that's like super out of line like that, but whatever. So at this point, I think that was at the end of the penultimate, the second to last chapter, I think. So then I was like, okay, I'm not crazy about it at the moment, but it can totally pull it up. It can totally pull this off if you have a fucking banger of a finale, which most of these games, pretty much all of these games do, except this one. In my opinion, at least. So, like, that whole going to that junkyard to grab Watase is like, okay, I guess the final boss is gonna be Ichiban, maybe? At least what I would think if I didn't know, what I knew. Fucking Shishido, right? Although it would be cool if you fought Ichiban, that would be really fun. Maybe that'll happen in 8. Fucking anyways. So that whole thing with grabbing Watase at the construction site or junkyard or whatever the fuck it is, I like that. It's cool. I like Watase a lot. He's a fun guy. Then you have the whole Shishido fucking busts out his phone and he's like, "Hey, what's up, Instagram? I'm recording." And it's like, "Oh, okay, buddy." And even him doing all that, where he's like, I'll expose you, I'll do all this shit, even that would be totally fine by me. I think where all this shit loses me is him teaming with Nishitani. Because I know that he wasn't lying about hating him. Because you had that shot earlier that perfectly illustrated how he felt. To a T. That wasn't a subjective... that wasn't like... Wait. What's the right word for this? That wasn't like, oh, Nishitani did something bad and Shishido just kind of walked off. That was like, Nishitani said some bullshit and Shishido fucking stared him down. And you could, like, with fucking laser eyes and just like, I want to beat the lights out of this guy. I want to kill him. You could feel that from that one shot. So we know that it wasn't just like, oh, I was just tricking you. Like, no. We know inside that is how he's been feeling this entire time. And then it's like, nah, they're working together. Because they're the villains or something, And it just feels so shallow. And so, like such a missed opportunity, because it's at that exact moment that I'm like, oh, Shishido is no longer interesting to me. He's no longer, like, that kind of critically antagonistic force in the story. He is an antagonist now, but his motivation is fucking stupid. Oh, I'm gonna team up. Like, he has no morals. He doesn't have, like, stuff he stands by. He's just, I want to be a Yakuza, and I don't want it to stop happening. And the thing is, even that could be great. Because throughout so much of the series, Kiryu has all these little speeches where he's like, no, being a Yakuza is not about going on the fucking warpath, being the biggest badass. Being Yakuza, and I guess by extension living in the fucking world and being a person to him, is like, it's just about, it's how you live. Like, he has this great line to Watase in 5 when he first meets him, where he's like, for you, being a Yakuza is rushing off to death. For me, it's a way to live. And it's like, fucking yeah, man. It's so perfect. And it's like, okay, this could still work. Because remember, at this point, I know that Shishido's the final boss. So it's like, hey, this could still work. We could still pull it back. We could still, hey, have it be this man who loves being a Yakuza so goddamn much. Have him go up against the fucking 4th chairman of the Tojo clan. Have him be like, hey, I know you love this. I did too at one point. But you can still be this person without the Yakuza. You will still be there. That's still you. And that would tie in so fucking well to everything Kiryu's been doing since the beginning of the game. But no. Or at the very least, they don't articulate that at all. Like, it's not, and there's not, like, there's any, like, subtext I'm missing. There's no, like, that's another thing. really don't like the cinematography in this final chapter, which is a silly thing to say, but for Yakuza, that's a bar that's been set and been roughly the same place for like 20 years almost, where it's like gonna be fucking stellar, right? And this is the first one where I felt like, what were we doing? It was this like made in 20 minutes. Like that scene where they're doing like a recreation of the Yakuza 7 boardroom scene, where they're just like every couple seconds they'll like cut over to Kiryu and the barbecue poker guy, just being like, and Kiryu's like, oh hey, it's Majima over there. And it's like, really? That's how we're doing it? Like, just cutting over to him in this unspecified corner of the room? Like, it's so bad. It's like, come on. Like, that's bad. It's bad. But anyways, what was I saying? But yeah, final chapter. Don't love it. I think Shishido had so many opportunities to be like a really cool boss and a really interesting foil to Kiryu, as most of the final bosses are. Shit, basically all of them are. Like, one of the things that I love about the Yakuza, especially the final bosses, is like they all have a very clear, like they all have their own very clear story that they follow. Like Nishi, of course, Ryuji has like is almost the main character of that game, like more so than Kiryu. Mine has a very clear like logic behind him, even though, you know, bitch crazy. Like that. There's shit. Who's? Oh yeah, Daigo's Kiryu's boss in 4. Like, we know fucking Daigo. We know what he's going through. We know what he's feeling. We know how he works. And 5, my fucking boy. I won't spoil it, but maybe I will. Maybe I already have. I don't remember. But, like, the final boss of that is like so perfectly just like, I need to beat Kiryu. I don't hate him. I just need to prove that I'm worth something. And it's so fucking good. God, I love it so much. And 6 of, you know, you got that piece of shit little baby Iwami. I fucking hate that guy. But, like, you know, all these people, you have very clear, like, stories and arcs for, and very clear, like, internal logic for all these people that Kiryu fights, right? Sometimes more so than Kiryu. Kiryu's a very, like, it's weird. As much as he's, like, an active person who's gonna go in and bust heads or whatever, like, he's very reactive. Like, he doesn't go out of his way to do Yakuza shit. It just kind of comes to him, which I love. God, I love Kiryu so much. Fuck. He's the best. So, where was I? This. Oh, yeah. So you have that whole Shishido fight, and to be fair, the choreography of it, like in the QTEs and the cutscenes, is very cool. I like that. It's very cool and flash. I feel like that fight is what people who don't like the Yakuza 5 final boss fight, somehow those people exist. They're insane. The Shishido fight is what people say the the nobody fight at the end of 5 is. Like, it's like tearing up the Tojo clan building through your fight is so amazing and so, like, core to what that fight is at the end of 5. Like, the fact that you're going through the building and just, like, slamming through it, like, going through all these rooms and all these, like this staircase that you've seen God knows how many times throughout the games. Like, it's perfect, right? But it's kind of echoed here for no reason and to basically no effect with the Omi HQ. It's like, I've been in here maybe twice throughout the series. Like, I don't care. This is a building that doesn't matter. Who gives a shit? But yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. I like that fight, like, visually at least. And, you know, I don't know, fucking, how do I say fight-wise? Kinetically? I don't know. I like that fight. It's cool. I just wish Kiryu had some kind of stake in it. I just wish Kiryu was like trying to teach Shishido something or trying to understand something about him. It was just kind of like, we need to stop him from doing the thing. We need to make sure he's unconscious within the next 10 minutes. And it's like, okay, I will do that. Like, it doesn't even need to be Kiryu, really. It could have been Saejima doing it. It was just like, oh, Kiryu, I'm gonna fight you. Bye. Come on in here. Come on to the throne room or whatever. And it's like, nah, not feeling it. So yeah, but then after all that bullshit that I don't really like, we get one of my new favorite scenes in the entire series. It's just Kiryu sitting in his little temple, little monk temple, right? Just sitting there, trying really hard to meditate. And Hanawa comes with him, and he's like, "Hey, we found a little recording of your kids." And he's like, "Oh my fucking god, no way!" And you get this whole like fucking 10-minute long scene where Kiryu is just bursting into the most tears you've ever seen, the most realistically rendered tears I've ever fucking seen in a video game ever or anything. Like, holy shit, that is a real man crying real tears. I've never seen it before in my life. That's wild. Yeah, Kiryu's fucking crying. It's so good. It made me fucking cry. Yeah, this shit's wild. It's great. It's amazing. And I generally like that whole ending sequence once you're back at the temple. Like, I like that a lot. Every scene that takes place at the temple, at or around the temple, is, like, really good, and I like it a lot. It's just a shame about the other 90% of the game. Which, I'm gonna stop talking about Gaiden now. Just generally, like, I feel like... So the initial plan for Gaiden, I'm pretty sure, was, like, it was gonna be, like, a DLC or something. And I feel like it doesn't even need to be that. I feel like you could have taken the first, like, hour or two, and the last maybe 10-20 minutes of cutscenes, mash them together, or, you know, obviously you have to restructure bits of it and rewrite something. But really, this story did not need to be that long. Because the way they did it, Kiryu didn't change at all. There was no need for this game to be 10 hours, or even 5 hours. It could have been a series of cutscenes. Really, all that comes out of the game is Kiryu really misses his family, and he's gonna go bring Yumi's ring to Hawaii, which I fucking love, by the way. I never have they ever mentioned Yumi at all outside of 1 until now, like at all. I kind of fucking love that it's just like, hey, Yumi's back, and it's like, oh my god. Well, not back, you know, she's super dead. But, you know, the idea of her is back. Good old fucking, what's her name? Faith from Buffy. Goat. I totally forget what her name is, but good old her. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if you were to take, you know, the beginning of this story and the very, very, very end of this story, and just cut out everything else in between, nothing would be different, and it would honestly be better. I kind of wish Gaiden was just a little cute 2-hour intro to 8, which would be maybe be bad, but it would be better than, I think, it would be better to me than what we got. Okay. No more Gaiden talk. I will now be talking about 8. A game that I'm fucking terrified for. Okay. So, when this game got announced, it was the one out of all 3 of it, Ishin, Gaiden, and this, that I was like, ooh, I'm probably not gonna like that one. But, you know, Ishin was, like, maybe the most fucking miserable of video games ever made me, and I didn't really like Gaiden that much, so here we are with 8 being my last hope. I am fucking scared. But hey, not there yet. So, let's see. We got that reveal thing where it's like Kiryu and Ichi walk in, and I was like, oh no, Kiryu's back. Well, at least they better do something interesting with them. And I still don't know if they will, because we have not been on speaking terms lately, me and RGG. So, like, could go fucking sideways in an instant, right? Yeah. But the thing that got me, like, a little hopeful for it was the thing they released in, like, June or July. It's like this little, like, thing where it's like, hey, we're calling the game Infinite Wealth in the West. And it's like, hey, you know, complex, intertwined story. We felt one subtitle wasn't enough. It's like, okay, that's a little weird, but sure. And they say the concept of infinity and the infinite is very closely tied to the themes of the story. And there's literally nothing else I can take that to mean but, like, we're gonna be very closely looking at Kiryu and saying, hey man, you had a really good run, but it's time for you to go. And, like, not in, obviously, I love Kiryu, not in like a threatening way, because how the fuck are you gonna threaten a fictional character? But, in like a passing the torch sort of way, not even, just like putting the torch down, like, just blow it out, I mean, don't kill Kiryu, but, you know what I mean, just put the torch down, don't pass it, just put it down. Like, yeah, like, what else could it mean? The idea of, like, infinite, like, something going on forever, and this character who just cannot seem to stay down, and who cannot seem to, like, get a break, and who cannot stop being that guy. Like, come on, that has to be something. That has to be where they're going, right? I mean, it'll be cool if it's something I haven't thought of, which I want so badly to be what happens, as long as it's, like, good this time. I hope it's good. Okay. Let's see. So there was that, and there was that, like, the Ichiban's naked on the beach thing, which is like, that's cool, that's fun. I know, like, I like Ichiban. I have zero fucking clue how they're gonna make a compelling Ichiban story for this game. Like, I'm sure they will, because, he's one for one, like, technically there hasn't been a bad Ichi story yet, but, like, it feels almost unfair to Kazuhiro Nakaya to do him like that, to be like, hey, yeah, you're voicing this character, but also, Kuroda's back, and he is voicing, his last outing as this character, fucking hopefully, for now, his last outing. If they bring him back again, I'm gonna kill myself. His last outing, last time he's coming to anywhere. This is it. It feels almost unfair to Ichi and VAs and everybody involved to bring Kiryu back, and to me, because either way, I'm not emotionally prepared for it. Yeah, I still would rather. Well, I can't say that really and mean it, but I'm interested to see what the alternate reality where this was just an Ichi game. Because really, by all rights, it should be. Kiryu had his 7 games, and then he just kept coming back. Like, every year since Kiryu walked off into the sunset in 6, we've had a Kiryu game, basically. Like, either if it's like a remake, or if it's like, oh, Kiryu's back for the last time in 7. Or like, oh, Kiryu's back for the last time in Gaiden. I guess he's not back for the last time in Gaiden, but he's back for the last time in this. And it's like, it wasn't true last time you said that. So, Oh God. Please don't lie again. That would be really fucked up, and God damn it. Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do me like that. Don't do it. So, what now? Had that, and then I don't know. I guess after that it was just like the demo that's in fucking Gaiden. So I really like the Uber Eats Crazy Taxi mini game. That's fun. I think it's called Sicko Snap, where you just snap a picture of like these sex perverts all in public, just goofing around. That seems fun. That's a good. I love. I love how when you finish the opening like tutorial bit of that, the little girl's like, "Mommy, who's that?" And it's like, "Don't worry, sweetie. They're just sickos." And it's like, ah, yes, that feels very classic side game side quest RGG humor, where it's like everybody is using the same term for these random people. I don't know why that always gets me, but it does. Like, everybody's decided to specifically call these people sickos. I love it. Shit like that's great. Oh fuck, sorry. Let's see. What's that? I guess the demo had a little bit like a trial run fight, and that was fun, fighting a corrupt cop. I wonder if this is going to be the game, because they took down bullying with Yagami in Lost Judgment. That's no longer an issue for the world, right? Bullying's over. What if they're going to, like, destroy racism? I hope they destroy racism. That would be nice. That would definitely make things a little bit better in the world. Maybe that'll be something. Maybe they're going to get infinite wealth from defunding the police and the military from America, and all that money is going to be essentially infinite, and they're going to put it into something else, like education. Oh my god! Yes! Oh my god, wait! This is how I'm calling this right now. This was a joke, but now it's not. They're going to take all the money out of police and military, right? Somehow, I don't fucking know. You're going to get RG Joe Biden, RG Joe Biden, right? On the phone, he's gonna be like, I gotta get some ice cream, Kazuma Kiryu. I've gotta get some. I don't know how he talks. I'm Canadian. I don't give a shit. Fuck off. I don't know how he talks, but like, he's gonna, you know, fuck all the policemen's, right? Stop spending $8 trillion a year on your fucking military, right? Put all that money into like education and like, you know, foster homes type shit. Put all that money for disadvantaged children so that you won't have people in the Yakuza. It's time for that shit to stop. No criminal underworld for kids. None of that. That's what the game's going to be about. Do it for the kids, Kiryu. End America forever. Destroy it. Explode. Die. That's what the game's going to be about. I'm calling it. So, now that we figured that out, it's time to see how they're going to deal with Kiryu as his, like, you know, basically his big old swan song, his last game, for real this time, we promise. And that better be for real this time, because I don't think I can take another one of these fake outs. I don't think I can deal with it. Okay. Where did we get? I don't think I fully watched the fucking bucket list trailer they released. But I think I saw little bits of it. Like, I just kind of skimmed through it. And what I think I saw was fucking Onomichi, which has me, like, more erect than it previously thought possible. Like, oh my god, what if... Even just a cutscene, dude. Even just a cutscene walking through Onomichi. Like, fuck, dude. Oh my god, that'd be so good. Give me some Nagumo. I don't understand, like... Okay. So, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm just going to get too happy, right? So you got that. I saw him like giving a fist bump to Komaki, which is like, wow, I love that. I love that he's like this character that's only ever really been just on the side, has had no involvement really. But yeah, this is, for all intents and purposes, this is one of Kiryu's mentors. Like, as far as mentorship goes, it's like Kazuma, big gap, but then it's Komaki. Like, really, unless I'm forgetting someone, which I probably am. Like, he's his guy. That's his guy. It's really cool that they're like bringing that through. I saw that. I saw Kazuki and Yuya, which, fuck yeah, dude. I love that. I love them so much. Oh my god, they're the best. Those are my fucking boys. That's something I felt like really Yakuza 1 and 2 and just Judgment have done well, is like make you feel really in touch with the city. And that's what I feel like this is kind of maybe hopefully doing as well. Like, oh, you meet these two guys who are definitely not gay, definitely totally platonic relationship they have, right? They run a nightclub together, right? And it's there's these two guys, you're Kiryu's friends. And it's like, okay, cool. Then you go to this homeless refuge place, this homeless camp, right? Oh, this fucking weird ass little hermit karate master. Okay. Oh, we got a doctor friend. Oh, we're friends with the policeman. Like, there's a lot of shit where it's like, I feel like the later games kind of get more like, I don't know, higher tier. Like fucking Yakuza 3, you're like talking to government officials. Like, it's really weird. But like 1 and 2 are like very good at like keeping you really grounded and really street level. And Judgment almost even more so, I think. Like, it's great. I love it. What was I saying? Oh yeah, who else is in the trailer? So, by the way, that trailer at all being called Bucket List is so fucking good. It gives me, like, that title of that trailer alone is like, please, for the love of God, bring that energy to the game itself. Please, I'm begging you. Like, I need it. I need that. I just want like a 4-hour long cutscene of Kiryu just hanging with his friends. And they are his friends, goddammit. They are his friends. Haruka wouldn't lie. In Yakuza 5, she says Kiryu has friends. And Saejima even says to Kiryu, your friends are your power, did you know? Which, I'm not going to talk about that. Never mind. I'm not talking about Yakuza 5. I'm talking about Yakuza 8. Okay? I'm not talking about Yakuza 5. What was I talking about? Oh, right. People in the trailer. So after Kazuki and Yuya, you got, like, Date, of course, with his fucking gun, looking more badass than ever. What an awesome guy. I love him. That's my fucking boy. So I'm, having a drink with Date outside the summon, You had Akiyama, of course. Like, of course he's going to be in the game. Of course. Sayama, which is like, holy shit. I mean, I guess if you're going to go to America, like, you might as well link up with the one person you know for sure to be in America at that point in the series, which is Sayama. And, strangely, spoilers, Tyler, by the way, if you haven't played the demo yet, I don't know if you have. Spoilers. Fucking Andre Richardson, Mr. Daigo's on the rough himself. He didn't die. When Mine suplexed him off a building. He did not die. Which... How? That was like a big-ass hospital. Hold on a minute. Let me look up how many floors the Toto Hospital is. Okay, I looked it up. That is a fictional location. I don't actually know how many floors it has. But I feel like falling off the roof of a hospital that's overlooking the entire city, you'd probably die. Right? So maybe that's not him. I don't think we ever got official confirmation on that. But it's probably there's no, like, it's either him or it's like his long-lost fucking brother or something. Right? Or it's Mine wearing his skin. Which, speaking of, if Richardson didn't die, maybe Mine didn't either. And maybe we'll finally get that 6-hour sex scene between Mine and Daigo that was promised to us. Maybe that'll happen in this game. Maybe they have to. It's going to be 100 hours, so, they got to fill out the time somehow. I say, Gay sex. Put that in the game. Do it now. Do it now. Yeah. What else? Richardson. Okay, I think that's all as far as, like, characters who are, like, for sure 1,000,000% gonna... I mean, okay, you want 1,000,000%? Haruka's obviously gonna be in the game, and by extension, God, I fucking hope Yuta shows up. Oh. Could you imagine, oh my god, could you imagine if, like, Yuta wasn't there because they can't afford, what's his name? Fujiwara? Could you imagine if, like, after all that bullshit, it's like, no, Yuya's not around right now. It's like, what are you fucking talking about? I punched that man through glass. Like, ooh, buddy. Buddy. See, this is the problem. This is the problem with doing this stuff. This is the problem. You can't... What if... God damn it. What if Yuta's not around? Oh, God. Who's gonna voice Yuta? Oh, God. Oh, God. Who's gonna voice Haruka? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. It's fucking crazy. So, anyways, Haruka's coming back like 1,000,000%. She had, like, literally one line in Gaiden. And it was, like, just, you know, I guess it was present day. Because I had, like, cameras around the house or whatever. Or not around the... I guess around the house, but not in the house. I mean, they're probably in the house as well. But, whatever. She had one line, and they went out of their way to model an entire baby or like an entire toddler for Haruto. There's no fucking way. There is literally zero chance we don't get Haruka, major Haruka content, right? Like, no fucking chance, right? You cannot have playable Kiryu without Haruka. I mean, you can, I guess. It's called Yakuza 0, but, you know. It's fine, I guess. Whatever. Haruka's not there. Who cares, right? Yeah. Haruka's there, no doubt. I mean, I guess Haruto's a baby, so obviously he's gonna be there. What the fuck else has he got going on? Yeah. The orphans, wherever they are, whatever they're doing. I hope Mitsuo shows up. I forget what they said he was doing. He's probably doing baseball. I think they said baseball. He was into baseball, right? Koji was into soccer. I'm a little disappointed Taichi isn't like a wrestler or something, but I'm fine with that. It's cute. It's cute that it's like this fictional kid that you've known for like a total of maybe 2 hours of video game time has had a whole thing off screen where he just kind of like has his interests and he like, you know, he kind of grows out of them too. He's off in like some fucking academic career now or something like that. It's wild. I fucking love this series, dude. So, yeah. Haruka and the kids, they're totally there in some capacity. Hopefully in a major capacity, because, like, I couldn't take it if we got minimal Haruka. We need maximum Haruka. I'm talking Yakuza 6 Haruka. I'm talking Yakuza 1 Haruka. You know? I'm not talking Yakuza 4 Haruka. I'm really not talking Yakuza 4 Haruka. She's, yeah, really not talking Yakuza 4 Haruka. Yeah. That'll be good. I mean, I hope. God, I hope. Don't fuck that up. At the very least, don't fuck that up. I mean, if they don't fuck that up, then the game is fine, right? Like, the game's safe. Because that's where Kiryu's gonna end up. That's his ending, is living with his family, the people who he loves. Mark my goddamn words. Actually, this is a good time to get into my list of demands. So, mark my goddamn words. Item number 1 on my list of what I've called my Yate demands, which was before it was called Infinite Wealth, I guess. But this is my list of Yate demands, right? Game ends with Kiryu and Haruka reconnecting, living a normal-ass life, right? Kiryu living with his family. He gets his awesome Wild at Heart ending, where, you know, he makes his grand, like, I can't be with you, you know, I'm just too stoic, I'm just too cool, and I'm a middle-aged man, and I'm a badass, right? And it's like, no. And then you need, like in Wild at Heart, one of the best movies ever, You need Laura Palmer to come down dressed as Glinda the Good Witch. Galinda the Good Witch, right? And be like, no, Kiryu, don't run away from love. And then you can, like, get back up and fucking run. Fucking sprint back to the orphanage. That's what you gotta do. Boom. Cut it, print it, you know? Yeah. That. What else? Oh, duh. Aizawa. My fucking boy. Aizawa is coming back. There is literally no doubt in my... I mean, there's a bit of doubt, but it's the dark part of my mind that only feels hate and anger and revenge and all those cold, dark emotions that I don't enjoy. In the normal parts of my mind, there is no doubt in my mind that Aizawa was fucking coming back, because Hanawa is Morinaga, his fucking sworn brother. How are you gonna bring back a man's sworn brother who was dead and not bring back the one who was alive and who has the best boss fight of all time? I mean, at least of the whole series, the best boss fight, and maybe not the best dynamic with Kiryu, but one of my favorites with Kiryu, because he's just like, he just wants to prove himself. Kiryu is his, you know, in a nicer way, Kiryu is his punching bag, basically. Or no, that's, you know, Kiryu is, what's the word? Kiryu is like, you know, that guy. He's like the pinnacle. Kiryu is the mountaintop. And that fight literally ends with Kiryu saying, alright, Aizawa, you know, you had a good run, but hey, whenever you're ready, man, whenever you're ready, come on back. I'll always be here. I'm waiting for you. And like, literally, my one bit of sadness with 6, like my one thing where like, oh, it's kind of a missed opportunity, is like, oh, Aizawa never came back to fight Kiryu. That's sad, but you know, Kiryu's made a lot of promises to a lot of people. I can't expect them all to be fulfilled in one short game, because that game's really, it's like under 20 hours if you like go through it. But now, if you're going through all this trouble of, oh, Kiryu's back, here's this like 10-hour really bad game to set up why he's coming back and why he's involved in the story again, right? Here's all this nonsense. Just go fucking crazy with it, right? Bring back Aizawa. You're bringing in Komaki in a real story cutscene, which I don't think has ever... Shit, has Komaki ever been, like, properly voiced? I don't think he has. Anyways, bringing in Komaki, bringing in Kazuki and Yuya, bringing in Sayama again, like, all these fucking people who, like, are just, like, ghosts of Kiryu's past, right? Like, just go nuts with it. Bring in everybody at this point. Like, there is no ceiling at this point. Like, just go fucking nuts, okay? Do it for me. Bring in Aizawa, please. I want it so badly. And I won't accept side quests. I will not. I will never accept side quests, because that doesn't count. Well, it's like this whole big cool... Actually, no. No side quests. No side quests. Maybe, like, if you do, like, a... No. No side quests. I don't accept side quests. Has to be main story. Even if it's just, like, one dungeon. Have him be, like, this cool, like, cloaked figure chasing you through the dungeon. It's like, Kiryu, who's that guy? And Kiryu's like, I've seen those big boobies before. And you're like, what? And it's like, oh, it's Aizawa, the 4th biggest boobies in the whole series. That's true, actually, by the way. That is actually true. It goes, it's gotta go Saejima, then Ryuji, then Kaito, then there's this fucking crazy stacked hostess from the PS2 version of Yakuza 2. Her name's Hitomi, I think, or Hiromi or something. Then Aizawa, so 5th best, I think. 5th best. 5th biggest boobies in the whole franchise. Okay? You'd be like, I know who that is. and then you fight him, and it's just it's this awesome. God damn it, it has to be a one-on-one fight. Aizawa has to come back, has to have a fight, and it has to be one-on-one with Kiryu. I will not accept anything else. Okay? And this will happen because the one character he's directly tied to is already here and already is talking to Kiryu. There is literally no reason to do that if Aizawa is not also in the picture. Like, I will flip my shit if he's not in it. I'll break the disc. I don't give a fuck. I'll do it. I'll really do it for real. I'll do it. I'll do it. What else? What else on my list of demands? Oh yeah, we get to see... Wow, I wrote this before all these trailers came out. We get to see what Daigo, and before Gaiden, obviously. We get to see what Daigo, the Orphans, and the Jima Bros are up to, which I love that name for them, by the way, Jima Bros. It's very funny. Makes me think of like Mario and Luigi. Majima will be Mario, obviously, and Saijima will be Luigi because he wears green. And he's also taller. And probably jumps higher. Actually, Majima jumps higher. Majima definitely jumps higher. But I don't give a shit. Whatever. So yeah. Daigo's, like, no way is Daigo not in it. If fucking Komaki's in a story cutscene, like, a budget cutscene, no less, you can bet your ass Daigo shows up. You can bet your goddamn... You can bet a pretty penny on that, buddy. You can bet any amount of money. Daigo's showing up. That's going to be cute. That's going to be a good time. I wonder what he dresses like now. He probably just wears the same suit, honestly. Like, he wore a pretty normal suit. But, okay, the Orphans, obviously they show up. They already kind of showed up in Gaiden, so we can cross that off the list. The Jima Bros, of course. Like, what the fuck do they dress like now? Are they still in that whatever security company that Daigo talked about starting up in the end of 7? What was it? It was like a security company, I think. Are they still working at that? What the fuck does that even look like? Majima probably got fired. Majima, or maybe he just quit. Majima would quit. Yeah, Majima probably quit. Saijima probably also quit when Majima did. What if Saijima was in jail again? That'd be really funny. What if you have to go into jail and find Saijima for some reason? This game is 100 hours long. Literally anything could happen. But I guess we already saw Majima in one of the trailers, and he looked real rough. He looked like he was fucking going through it. Like, oh my god, that is the most depressed man I've ever seen. And I've played Yakuza 5. I know what a depressed man looks like. Tell ya. Everyone in that game is depressed as fuck and extremely malnourished. Yeah. I don't think Majima's gonna be doing alright. I honestly don't even know if I want to fight him. Because I feel like by 5, he was already like, I don't know if I like doing this right now anymore. Like, I honestly don't know if I even want Kiryu to fight him. I just kind of want him to sit down and be like, hey, what's up, man? It's been real. I got cancer. I'm out. Love you. Also, by the way, I really want Kiryu to say I love you to someone. Someone. It's going to be Haruka, if anybody, but he's never come out and, like, just full-on said, I love you to anybody, I don't think. Maybe he has. I don't remember. I should know this. I don't think he has. Either that, or he could be like, Majima, the reason... No. Well, in Yakuza 5, he is the most gay ever. Like, I don't care. You ignore everything else outside of it. Ignore Yumi and Sayama and all that jazz. In Yakuza 5, Kiryu is gay. There is no beating around the bush on that. No pun intended, kinda. No pun intended. No pun intended. Kiryu is gay in that game. Like, no questions asked. They allude to it multiple times. And they're literally, like, you could not possibly shoot a scene that is more awkward of him just, like, looking at a naked woman and being like, I literally don't know what to do right now. It's really funny. Anyways, Kiryu's gay in that game, and it's like top 2 for me, so I'm saying Kiryu's bi at least. Bi or gay, right? That's it. And if so, I want him to say, Majima, I love you. Because Fuck it. It's the last game. Who gives a shit? Right? Go all out. So yeah, that's gonna happen for sure. You know, Kiryu Majima are gonna kiss. They're gonna go smoochy smoochy, and I'm gonna write about it in my fan fictions. Actually, I won't, because it'll be normal fiction. I guess, you know what? Yeah. No. They're gonna kiss. Yeah, they're gonna kiss. What else? I want Saejima to show up, but I honestly don't see it. Like, I don't know. It's weird because I really love Saejima and Kiryu's relationship, and I especially love it in 5. And the reason I keep going back to 5 is because Masayoshi Yokoyama, the now fucking head of the studio, and the guy who's, I think, co-writing this game, he was the main writer on 5. So maybe if I love 5, maybe the guy who wrote 5 also loves 5 and knows what he's doing. But Masayoshi Yokoyama also wrote Gaiden, which I fucking don't like. And that really complicates things, because now I don't know how to feel. Maybe 5 was just a fluke. I really don't know. I don't know what to do. But the lead writer on 8 is my boy, Tsuyoshi Furuta, who is the writer behind 6, Judgment, Lost Judgment, aka 3 of the best, if not the 3 best stories to ever come out of this series. And 6 and Lost Judgment are my top 2. So, like, hey, like, top 2 games from RGG overall, no contest, right? Some contest, but, you know, I love those. So, hey, what if this game's really good? It's written by the guy who has made exclusively really good shit. And, you know, Yokoyama being the head of things, maybe, like, even in the stuff that I don't, and there's stuff in 5 that I don't particularly like there's some bits of Aizawa's character that are, like, a little shaky, and it's like, I feel like he's a really good idea guy. Like, he's a good guy to be like, okay, here's what we should do here. Like, he's like a good, like, George Lucas type, where it's like, don't let George Lucas write the script. Ever. But, like, he has some fucking weird-ass ideas that are really cool, and you can, you know, get other people to, like, flesh them out and make them workable into a movie, or in this case, a game, right? Like, to me, at least right now, that's what Yokoyama is. That's, like, who he is, and I guess what Nagoshi was for the series, because I think Judgment's the only one that he, like, fully went into as I think a writer or co-writer, I think. So yeah. There's that. I said I was gonna talk for 10 minutes. It's now been like nearly 70. That's crazy. That's wild. I had a lot of this in my system, and I still do. So what are we getting? The other thing on my list of demands, and I think I thought of something else, but I forgot to write it down. But, Gary Buster Holmes. I fucking love that man so goddamn much. He's so cool. Love that part in the song where he's like, "Heat it." It's just cool. I love when he fucking hits guys. It's dope. Wouldn't it be awesome if they brought him back and Kiryu would finally be like, "Hey, your Japanese is really good," and just to close the book on that little running gag? I love that so much. It won't happen, but it would be nice. But instead, though, we have, I don't know what her name is, but I'm calling her Girl Buster Holmes. And in my headcanon, Gary Buster Holmes transitioned, and he is now known as Girl Buster Holmes. Yeah, that's the end. That's who she is, right? She's cool. She's for pound mates. I'm trying to pound mate. I'm trying to pound mate her, or something. Yeah, but yeah, pound mate seems cool. I guess with the last game, especially, like, we've already seen summons for Akiyama and Sayama and Kazuki and Yuya. So it's like, at some point, those, like, I don't think there are any summons in 7 that had any that were like, oh, this is not story relevant. At least as far as like, you know, you had the fucking lobster or whatever. But you know, Siam is going to be more relevant than the lobster, right? By a lot, hopefully. Yeah. So that's like a guarantee because they were also like in the trailer and some shots outside of the summon void or whatever. Yeah, they're gonna be around. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, we got fucking American actors, or I guess, you know, not American actors, but like Western actors who are in Western movies. We got those now. Like we got fucking Danny Trejo, Daniel Day Kim, fucking some other guy I don't know. Okay, so they had a trailer a while ago, or like not a while, like a couple weeks ago, right? Where it was like, here are the 3 leaders of the underworld, right? That you're going to be looking through in these games, right? In this game, right? You got Danny Trejo, down to him, and this other guy who's a fucking cult leader who you would think going off that pattern you would have a third like actor man, right? But no, it's just Fred Tatsiore. It's a little weird. But whatever, it's fine. I like Fred Tatsiore. He's good in Judgment as Hamura. What else you got? What else do you got? Is there nothing else for 8? There's gotta be something else for 8. Oh yeah, I should probably talk about like the game part of the game at some point. So 8 definitely like gameplay wise looks better than 7. Like I liked 7, but it was very like bare bones. But this looks like every single complaint that some of which I didn't even have about 7's combat. Most of which really. I'm not much of a JRPG head, so I don't really care. But like you got, I heard people like in when 7 came out, there were people who were like upset about how like there wasn't much to the there was nothing that it like really incentivized you for like doing like status effects or anything, or like, you know, elemental attacks or whatever. Like there were those in the game, but there was never a point where it's like, oh, here's the fight where you need to use them or where you should use them. Here's where like those would be severely to your advantage, right? It was just kind of like they're there and they don't really matter that much, right? And you also have like, it's weird going from like this like whole like free flowing like brawler combat, right, to like this very tight thing where you don't really have much control of your movement in combat, but now you do. Like you can, you know, like select like the position you're in on the field. You can see how close, how far you are from your enemy, what angle you hit them at, so they can go hit another enemy, or they could go hit like a fucking sign and break it apart because the Dragon Engine is awesome. I fucking love the Dragon Engine so much. I guess it's not the Dragon Engine, never mind. It's the Unity Engine? Or Unreal Engine, I mean? Unreal Engine 5 or something. Whatever. Go break it up. It's basically the Dragon Engine as far as combat's concerned. So you got that. Combat looks good. I hope the actual upgrading of the weapons is not as heavy as it was in 7, because I hate doing that, especially after playing fucking Stranger of Paradise, where that's like the entire game and it fucking sucks. At least that end of the game. I love that game, but whatever. I hate upgrading weapons so much. I don't like it. Don't make me do it ever. Just let me buy a weapon and then buy another one later and get one from combat. I don't need to do all these, oh, +1 strength, +1 defense, oh, +0.1% accuracy. Like, fuck all that. Don't care. It just makes my brain go all goofy, and I don't like it. Don't make me do it. Yokoyama or whoever's... I don't actually know... Oh, I know who directed this game. Same director as Gaiden, actually. Ryosuke Hori, who I think, as far as I can tell... I haven't looked this up, which I probably should. I think he's just done, like translations for the karaoke? Yeah, he's a lyricist. Oh, oh, wait a minute. Okay, never mind. I'm stupid a little bit. He fucking directed Yakuza 7. Okay, good hands. We're in good hands. I'm in good hands. It'll be fine. Because after Gaiden, I was like, holy shit, this is... I don't know if the, director in the game sense is the one who decides, like, on the cinematography and, like, the general flow of scenes. He probably has some kind of say over it. Like, in 7, that was fine. Like, it was pretty good. Right? It was, like, nothing like... It wasn't like, final shots of 6 good, but it was like, this is good. This is the standard this is up to the standard they set. But Gaiden was like, oh my god, I cannot believe how awful some of this editing and some of these shot compositions are. Like, it's like, god, like, fuck that, dude. God damn it, I'm getting negative again. I guess I've been kind of negative this whole time, but, don't worry about it. I'm not worried about it. Whatever. Ryosuke Hori. You know what? I'm going to say we're in good hands. It's a pretty funny, like, trajectory his career's had then, going from, like, oh, he's the guy who does the lyrics for the karaoke songs to he's directing a video game. Like, holy shit. Multiple video games, actually. And apparently, I just looked it up. Apparently, 8's going to be his last one that he's directing, which is, you know what? Baller, dude. I love how often people are like, around this series are like, it's time for me to just stop. And I love that. I love, again, with the whole infinite thing, you don't have to keep going. You can just take a break. You can stop. Do something else. Which, honestly, that might be, do something else might be the whole thesis of the series after it all wraps up. At least on Kiryu's end is, you know what? You could just do another thing. If it sucks, hit the bricks. Yeah. Maybe I should take a note from that, because if 8's bad, I might be out. It might be time for me to hit the bricks, you know what I'm saying? Not like in a suicide way, but in a way where my feet are hitting the bricks, in a walking fashion. Not like my head's hitting the bricks. That would be like, if 8's really bad, then I'll kill myself. Yeah, it won't be, though. It'll be fine. I hope. Maybe. I hope. Oh, God. I've been talking for a long-ass time. Yeah. What else we got? Oh, yeah, I was on the combat. Yeah, the combat looks good. I really like the way they do that last fight with Arakawa in 7, where it's like just getting all that RPG stuff off you and getting it down to bare bones. Classic Yakuza, just beat the fuck out of the other guy until he stops being mean to you. Like, I love that shit. I hope there's at least one more of those in this game. Maybe between Kiryu and Ichi, if they can take that kind of awesome, like rival character and like relationship writing from Lost Judgment, which might be their best story to date. If they could take that and bring it over to two like dual protagonist kind of vibe, that would be so goddamn cool. It would be so amazing. I would love the fuck out of that, but I doubt that'll happen. Like, anyways, it would be cool if they did that kind of thing again, where it's like just a totally stripped down, like back to basics, hit the guy with your fists, fight. I would think that would be very cool. I would like that a lot. I think that would be very swag. Yeah. I hope they don't bring back that really dumb mask guy from 7. I don't like him at all. I think that is a dumb character to have just around. A character that you can just retroactively be like, yeah, that scene didn't matter because it wasn't that guy. Just have the guy take off his mask and be like, aha, it was me the whole time. Like, that's stupid. I don't like that. Anyways. So there's that. There's, fucking, Alright, speaking of combat, just want to go back and say, I liked Gaiden combat generally, like, it was good. Not as good as Lost Judgment, which I guess is fair-ish? Like, you know... Well, no. As far as, like... I guess they're reworking Kiryu's Dragon Engine moveset for a new engine, so that's something. But, like, also, Yagami... He only had 2 games in the Dragon Engine, and Lost Judgment combat is, like, maybe my favorite combat in any game. I fucking love it. It's so simple, but it has so much, like, depth if you like, go into it. Like, there's so much cool shit in that game. Oh my god. And I feel like Gaiden has none of that, but it is still, like, all the encounters are designed around that kind of complexity in your moveset, but it's just not there, so, like, you always feel like you're, like, fighting an uphill battle, which in sometimes that's nice, but also it feels that way in a not awesome way, in a way where it's like something's missing from this equation. So I don't know. But I guess I don't have to worry about that with 8, because it's turn-based. But if Judgment 3 or whatever the fuck that new IP they said they were doing, which maybe that was a lie, I don't remember, or maybe I misread it, I don't know. Whatever that is, maybe they're gonna do action again at some point for sure. I just don't know when, and I hope it's good. I hope it's more fun than Gaiden was, action game wise. But you know what? I'm done talking about that. Yeah, I'm done talking about that. What else we got? Oh yeah, I was saying this to Agro earlier. I really don't like how they changed how Sung-hee's name is spelled. I don't understand why you do that. You already had a spelling for it. It was Sung-hee. Now it's Seon-hee. Like, that's silly. That's goofy. I don't like it. Change it back. Maybe that's just for the public, for the, like, you know, the promo. Maybe in the game it's the same as it was before, because I really don't, like, why would you do that? That's so weird. It's so weird. I don't get it. But yeah, anyway. Son-hee, which is all one word now too, which before was like a, you know, had a hyphen, which, yeah, I just don't get it. I don't understand. I don't know why you change it. But, like, another thing that has me a little spooked is, like, new localization head after, I think, Scott Strikeheart. He walked out, which is good for him as well. This sucks, hit the bricks if you're tired of it, you know. There's always something else out there. Yeah. So far, I'm not really feeling this new localization lead. It's probably just because it's different, honestly. Like, because I'm so used to these games, at least the way I experience them, being someone who speaks English and, you know, reads the subtitles. Like, I'm so used to reading it and having it read in a certain way that it's weird now having it where, like, the vocabulary of the games is a little bit different and people talk to each other differently. Like Kiryu is now, I think instead of, like, people are calling him the legendary dragon now, which was never something he was called, and it's just like, oh, that's new. And it's weird that it's new. I don't know. I'm not saying it's bad, it's new to me, and it's kind of a shock to the system still. So, I don't know. What else we got? I mean, I didn't love it in Ishin, but things have been getting better since Ishin. I kind of forgot Ishin happened, which is nice. That was a legitimately a dark time in my life. I fucking hate that game so much. I talked to my therapist about that game. Fuck that game. Bad game. Terrible. Fucking hate it. Dog shit. Everything's better after Ishin. Kiryu's face, I didn't even notice. I went back and looked at some, like, screen caps of that. Kiryu's face looks really bad in that game. Like, it looks too long. But then it looks really good in Gaiden and in 8. So, like, I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Another thing I hope they fixed for 8, and I hope they fix soon, because I don't like it, and I keep noticing it, is, in this new engine, sunlight looks really bad. Like, okay, like your sunset dusk light looks good. Your night looks good. I still prefer how it looked in the Dragon Engine, but that's whatever. But a lot of the times, especially when you're indoors, your regular old daylight is just a white void, and I really don't like that. That's, like, I know that's not how daylight looks. I live in the world, okay? I know that's not how it looks. You, like, come on. I know that's not how it looks. You had it look, it looked better a couple of years ago, or before this engine. You could totally switch it back up, right? Like, that's something they can change, I assume, right? Would that take a lot of work? I don't know. I don't make games. I have literally zero knowledge of this stuff. I hope that's something they can change, because it needs changing, in my opinion. I don't like how it looks right now, but that's it. The game's still gorgeous. Gorgeous. Even the fucking PS2 games are gorgeous. Like, in some ways that the other games haven't been since. It's really weird. Like, those games have such a nice, like, grungy kind of feel to it. It's like, ooh, this extra, like, little edge that's just added by virtue of being kind of a janky, shitty, but still really pretty looking PS2 game. Very weird. I'm not explaining it properly, but, you know, I love that game. I love those games. Good shit. Yeah. So, I don't know. This hasn't really been structured, so, because I've just been kind of fucking rambling for the last nearly fucking 90 minutes. Holy shit. Oh god. But, I don't know. Closing thoughts? Probably not closing thoughts, because, you know, this is just to get all this bullshit out of my system. But I guarantee you in a day or two it'll be back in my system, and I'll just be repeating everything I just said. For no reason. Anyways, let's see. Closing thoughts. Didn't love Gaiden. Maybe my least favorite story they've done so far overall. Like, I love the first bit, love the last 10 minutes. Everything else, kind of a nothing burger, nothing sandwich, whatever you want to call it. Kind of just, you know, didn't do it for me. Didn't feel right? It felt, I think what I called it when I first finished it was like it felt like a really pretty alright Yakuza fan game. Which is still kind of how I feel about it. It doesn't feel like it's legit. I don't know how else to explain it. And I don't want that to sound too rude. But it doesn't feel right. It feels wrong, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't feel right. It could have, and in my opinion, should have been just like a 2-hour, maybe 1 hour little intro bit to 8 itself. Like, I feel like not much is gained by having it be, as much as I like the action combat, not much is gained by having it be a whole game. Because clearly they didn't have that much to work with. Like, fuck it, god damn it, I'm getting back into that zone. Anyways, wasn't huge on Gaiden. I'm really, really sincerely, we're now like, I think, we're now a week out. I'm sincerely, truly, desperately hoping for 8 to be good. And I really hope, if anything, these games are always, at least to me, always at their best when they're doing something fucking ridiculous and weird and new. So, like, you know, oh, Kiryu owns an orphanage, which I guess Yakuza 3 maybe not the best example for that, but it's not great. But, oh, 4 protagonists? That's fucking wild. 5 protagonists? Sure. Oh, a 1980s like, man, like, just go nuts with it, right? Like, Lost Judgment, oh, you got Yagumi's a substitute teacher now? Okay, sure. And with this, it's like, probably the weirdest premise yet. We're in America. Like, go fucking crazy with that. Like, that's probably why I didn't like Gaiden so much, is because it felt so much like it was trying to be Yakuza, but it wasn't quite, and it also wasn't quite its own thing, so it was just kind of caught in this weird limbo for me, where it was just not much of anything. Which sounds really mean, but that's how I feel, so whatever. Yeah. I hope 8's good. I really hope 8's good. It will be extremely detrimental to my mental health if it's bad. And I will not stop thinking or talking about it. I'll probably do something like this again after 8 or maybe during, because I'm gonna be wanting to fucking talk about it. So yeah, hope 8's good. Desperately, desperately hope 8's good. Hope all my dreams come true for it. Bring in Aizawa, bring in Haruka. That's my top 2 really, because I know how Kiryu's thing is gonna end, or I know how it should end. God, I'm fucking rambling again. God damn it. But yeah, hope 8's good. Hope it's better than Gaiden. Hope it's better than Ishin. Yeah. I think that's it. If you're hearing this, thank you for fucking listening to all this dumb bullshit. I have literally no idea who would be listening to this. Cause, yeah. I don't know. I've been talking for 90 minutes. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Good night. It's 3 a.m. Good night. Goodbye. Also, sorry if my mic quality is bad. I'm literally recording this on my fucking earbud microphone thing. So, sorry. Bye. Good night. Happy Yakuza 8 in a week. Bye.